Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this, and welcome to my Warframe tutorial episode 2. This time I'm going to go over the appearance system. That's where you can change the look of your Warframe, customize it, make it look just either absolutely crazy or absolutely beautiful. So what you'll do is when you're in the Lisette, that's the name of your default landing craft, just go back here to the back. This is the arsenal. So we go into there, and basically whatever we want to change our appearance on, mouse over it, click on appearance, and you'll see a whole bunch of little options here. Now I'm going to go over to B and modify that because I really like my look. So what you'll do is primary color, click that, just mouse over, it'll give you a little preview of what colors are going to change on the frame. As you can see, I have a few different palettes. Your default palette, the one you start with, is the classic. For holidays, they come out with little event palettes, which usually cost just 1 credit, so very cheap. I recommend picking them up every time. Like this Easter palette. It's full of little pastel colors. Halloween, kind of went a little crazy with the Halloween colors, so you can make some really interesting looking ones. Shamrock was for the St. Patrick's Day. So you have a whole bunch of greens, some blues, orange, gold. Valentine, obviously for Valentine's Day, and of course it's all pink and red. So like I said, you can go through, it'll preview what colors are going to change. Not all Warframes have the same amount of colors. Some just have primary and secondary. Most have primary, secondary, and tertiary. The accents are just like these little lines here. You can just barely see them, but they add a little bit of flair. Now energy is going to affect 2 things. There are parts on your Warframe that glow, which depending on what Warframe you have, you might see them, you might not. But that's also going to change the color that your powers take. So whatever color your energy is, that's going to be the same color as your powers. Now going down a little bit farther, you can see default colors, which if you just want to go back to what your Warframe looked like originally, you know, maybe to start over, or you just said, well, screw it, I just want to go back to the way it was, you can hit default colors. Then you also have random colors above that, which what it'll do is it'll look at all the colors you have unlocked. So all your palettes, anything you've bought, that sort of thing, and it'll just randomize it. And you can get some strange looking ones, or you can get ones that actually look good. So we'll just hit that a few times. This is from the Ice palette. Valentine's Day. I think that's from Shamrock. Oh, no, that's from Halloween. Sometimes you get some crazy looking ones. Seems like at the moment, well, there's one that looks a little crazy. Looks like for the most part I'm getting, just regular ones. Moving on, we'll do it a couple more times. I just want to get one that I like. There we go. I tend to like oranges and reds. You can change the helmet on your Warframe, which you'll click this top one here. Oberon has an amazing amount of, my apologies, not Oberon. Excalibur has an amazing amount of helmets on him. Probably the most customizable frame in the game. And just click it, you'll see what the helmet looks like. Then you can either click on equip, or you can just double click the helmet, and it'll stay. Next you have the skin of your Warframe, which none is your default skin. And for Excalibur, once again, has the largest amount of skins. So Immortal, Proto Armor, I kind of like that. Prisma, that's where you have this base color, and your energy color will kind of flow through there. It's a little hard to see on this one. Then the ones that show that they cost real money are ones that are actually made by players, voted on in Steam, and then accepted into the game by DE. So once again, you can get some pretty cool customization out of that. We'll go to Immortal. See, it's kind of like flames. Then you have your animation set. None is the default for all frames. And you have Agile. As you can see, he's like, I'm ready for action. Noble. Oh, yes. I shall shoot you in the face. I tend to either go Noble or None. Which, I'm going to set him on Noble. I like that. Next, you have attachments. Now, this is going to be any armor or the cape, which is referred to as a Siandana. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. Default, once again, is None. Siandanas are either going to cost one of three things. Platinum, reputation with one of the syndicates, which I'll go on over in a later video, or real money. Now, once again, the ones that cost real money are ones that are created by players, and some of them just look absolutely amazing. We even have a jetpack now. Unfortunately, not a functional jetpack, so you can't zip around the map, but makes for a cool little appearance thing. Roto Siandana, I think looks absolutely amazing. My favorite, and the only one I've spent money on, let me find it here, is this Nasaru, I think is how you pronounce it. Just kind of, for me, adds what I like. Let's go ahead and copy main colors. This will let you keep a single color theme through your Warframe and through any attachments. You can also go to default, which is not going to be the default colors of your frame, but rather the default colors of the attachment. And then, of course, you have random, which actually that looks pretty cool. You can see that design on the cape. Next, you have your chest guard. Default is None. And then there are several different ones you can choose from. Kind of like this Hulta set. It looks like something you would actually have. And you have your left arm, your left leg, right arm. The Nabaros one is one that only comes out on Halloween, so if you want that, you're going to have to wait till Halloween to get that. And then your right leg. The last thing we have is the regalia, which I'll actually take off the chest guard so you can see that. So in regalia, you have your right and left badges, which some of them you can earn from events like the Acolyte badge and the Stratus emblem and the Tubman of Regor. Those will not come back into the game. You can only get them during the events. Stratus emblem I've seen several times, but the Acolyte badge and Tubman of Regor will not drop again. Then you also have your Alliance emblem, which whatever alliance you're in, that'll show up. This is the default. If you equip it, then you'll see your actual one. And then you have your clan emblem. Once again, it shows a default. Double click, and you can see your clan emblem. And you can set one for each side. So I have my alliance and I have my clan. Front sigil and back sigil. Sigils can either be earned from events or earned or bought from the syndicates, which, like I said, I'll go over in a later episode. So just click on that, select the emblem. Here's the Acolyte, which has a nice cool little animation on it. Ambulus. A couple of them you actually get from bosses, like Alad V. Gustrag is from the Grenier Assassin. Hyena. Imminent Eclipse, I do not remember where that one comes from. Then you have the ones that say plus 13%, plus 5% are syndicate emblems. And let's change the color so that's a little more visible. Okay, that is cool. You can see the animation really well on that. Then you can also rotate it. change the width, the height, and this X and Y offset lets you move it around your frame. Side to side and up to down. Alpha is what changes the transparency. So if you don't want to see your emblem, set that all the way down. You'll still get the animation, but you won't really see the emblem itself. I usually prefer the emblems because I think they look awesome. Let's go ahead and set that back to the default. And that is that. Back sigil is just one for your back. Now you can't have two Syndicate emblems up at the same time. You'll get a little error message. Only one faction sigil can be equipped at a time. But you can go through and set any of the other ones, the ones that drop from events or bosses. Which, let's find a neat one. There we go. A Stalker emblem. And there we are. That is the appearance system for Warframes. Weapons are similar. If they have a skin, that'll show up here. As you can see, that one costs real money, so that was created by a player and looks very nice. But other than that, exactly the same. Once again, you can copy your Warframe colors, which will let you keep a consistent color theme going. All the weapons have the same options. I'm not going to go over each one because they're exactly the same. The melee weapon does have one extra. That's this attachment here, which they are referred to as Sugatras, which they have some neat ones. That one is a ball of ice, so I could make my twin swords have balls. Sorry, little immature there. Have them have ribbons, little flowery thing. Now these do cost platinum, so once again, if you want one, you're gonna have to spend a little bit of platinum. This Pyrrha I actually got from the Void Trader, which I'll go over in a later episode, which I do think looks amazing. And that is that, your companion. Once again, you just set the colors you want. You'll get a little preview of what it looks like. You can change the fur pattern on the puppies. And they do have some attachments. This collar, you have a little helper hat. This is the default for puppies. This one adds a little bit of shield and health to it. And then you can change the armor that it has. Not piece by piece, but the entire set. I kind of like this. It looks like he can just gore him with his nose. And that's the end of the appearance system. Thank you for watching.